Tony Robbins is the world's #1 life and business strategist who Oprah said no one can motivate like this man. He went from growing up in a chaotic and abusive environment, leaving his home when he was 17 and working as a janitor, to providing water for 250,000 people a day in India and advising presidents in times of crisis. And today we're going to learn his best advice on how to focus on giving instead of receiving. Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time!
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and every morning I give you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself more and start your day with confidence. So good morning, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Tony Robbins.
I had a moment like when my whole life changed. It was kind of twofold. I was really young, like yourself back then, right? Working my tail off, trying to build a business. I mean, you have big goals. You know, you don't always succeed to start with. It doesn't just come together, right? You know, it was hard. And I remember I was so frustrated because I was working 18-hour days and nothing was working, and I was broke, and I felt embarrassed. You know, I should be doing better than this.
Sure.
And so I was driving home from Orange County on the 57 freeway in San Gabriel Valley out near a place in Pomona, California. It probably doesn't matter anybody else, but I can remember it so vividly because it was almost midnight. And I was at this breaking point. And then I was like, why am I not, doing better? And then I just pulled over the road, and I used to keep these journals. I still have them, written journals. And I wrote in big lines, the secret to living is giving. And I started to cry. And I realized, I am so focused on what am I not getting.
Receiving.
I'm not focusing on what I'm giving.
Yeah.
So for 6 months, man, it turned me around. But then, something else to get in your body. It was in my head, it was in my heart, but it had to get in there to stay. And I started going through some really tough times, and I lost everything financially. And I was mad at everybody because I'd loaned a friend $1,000 and, I'd been doing well. And he didn't even return my phone call.
Oh.
And what changed me was I was down to, $22, $23, something like that. I don't know, it was $24. Enough that I knew that I didn't have money for food for the next week, clearly. And I didn't have any prospects. And I was living in Venice in this 400 square foot bachelor apartment, feeling sorry for myself, getting pissed off. And I thought, you know what, I got to eat. So I'm not going to drive my car because I'm not going to spend the gas. I'm not going to pay for parking.
Sure.
I'm going to go to an all-you-can-eat place and load up for the winter, right? So I can get more, like one meal a day.
Right.
And so there's a place called Marina del Rey, not far from Venice. And it's a beautiful community, and it's right on the water. And there's a place called El Chorrito. It's still there. It's a little restaurant. It had taco bar and all that kind of stuff. So I walked there for the 3 miles, and I go, okay, I'm going to go and load up. And I was all about myself and getting through this. And this woman walked through the door, actually a very attractive lady. That's probably why I caught my attention. And I'm waiting to see who her boyfriend is, and there's nobody up there. There's a little guy down here. It was obviously her son. And he's wearing this 3-piece suit, a little vest. He opens the door for her. He pulls out the chair for her. And it was just, he stared into his mother's eyes. I mean, it was just pierced into her eyes. I don't know what it was. It was something about him was just so moving. He was such a sweet, caring, loving young man to his mother that moved me. So I paid for my meal. I don't know what was left, $17, $18. Put it back in my pocket, was left. Walked up to this young man, introduced myself, and I said, hi, I don't remember his name. I think he said his name was Ronnie. And I said, Ronnie, I said, you're a class actor. I saw how you opened the door for your lady. I saw you held out the chair for your lady. He goes, she's my mom. I said, that's even more classy.
Right.
And I said, so cool that you're taking her out to lunch like this. And he goes, well, I'm not really taking her to lunch because I'm just 11 and I don't have a job,
Right.
I said, yes, you are. And I had no plan. I just reached in my pocket, took all the money I had, changed dollar bills, and threw it right there in front of him. He looked at me like this. He goes, I can't take that. I said, sure you can. He said, well, why? I said, because I'm bigger than you are. Right? And he got this big grin on his face. His eyes got this big. And I just shook his hand. I didn't even look at his mom. And I just walked out the door. But the reason I tell you the story is I had no car. I had no money. I was euphoric. I was like flying home. I mean, it was like, I probably looked like an idiot, probably skipping or something. I mean, I was just, and what I felt was, I should have been like, what the hell did you just do? I have no meal, or are we going to eat?
Right.
I went home that night, I laid out a plan, and the plan was going to take me, 10 days, 2 weeks. So I thought, well, people fast for a week. I could fast for a week, that type of thing. And I have this great mindset about it. And I woke up the next morning, and I get the old regular snail mail shows up. And it's this guy I've called a zillion times. He wouldn't return my call. I open it up. There's a check, $1,000 plus interest and an apology.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, and I started to cry, honestly. And I was just like, why did this happen, And I don't know if it's true, but I decided that day this happened because I did the right thing. Because I didn't have a plan. It wasn't a strategy. I just felt this little soul beside me. I knew it was right, and I did it. And I didn't do it because I thought I could or I couldn't. I didn't even think about it. And that's the day I became a wealthy man, because I didn't have any money, but scarcity left my body. And I had plenty of ups and downs since that time in various times in my life, but I never went back to that, oh my God, how's it going to happen? It's like breathing. Do you stop and say, God, is there going to be any air before you take a breath? You know it's going to be there.
Right.
You don't run your life by that aspect. And so that to me is what it's about, is showing people, if you won't give a dime out of $1, don't yourself. You'll never give 1 million out of 10 million or 10 million out of 100 million. It's just not going to happen. But if you can do that now, you don't ever get beyond scarcity. You start behind it. You make a decision to get beyond it.
Humans are built to serve. Some people are built to serve the world. Others want to serve the 25 closest people to them. But in either case, humans are built to serve. If you're not happy right now, it's because you're not serving enough people, or you're not serving the people in your life deeply enough. But whom do you serve? How do you serve? And once you've found the answers to these questions, how can you make money serving so you can help even more people? That's what we're going to figure out together in this book. So you can pick up the book if you want to, but I'm also going to give you some hacks in this video right here today as well. The reason why serving is so important is because it's hardwired into our brain. Like you are physically designed to serve. They did functional MRIs on people's brains, and they found that serving other people hits the same part of your brain as having food and having sex, which are also both, turns out, pretty important as humans as well. So if you are not happy, there's a good chance it's because you don't have enough food, you don't have enough sex, or you're not serving enough, or some combination of those three. Now, there's a difference between just serving people, helping them open the door, buying the groceries or coffee for somebody behind you in line, letting somebody cut ahead of you in line, that kind of stuff. That makes you feel good in the moment. Watching acts of kindness, random acts of kindness, or even doing some will make you feel good in the moment. But it's not the underlying deep fulfillment, purposeful. That will come from figuring out what your who, what your why, and what your how is that I talk about in this book, but I'm gonna give you a sneak peek and some hacks to get it done in this video. But before that, here's a quick message from Lewis Howes, who interviewed Tony Robbins.
Good book by my man, Evan Carmichael, Built to Serve. If you want to learn about your purpose and how to become a better leader in the world, I love this. He says, this is the starting point for everything. If you're confused about what to do next, if you're pressured by others to fit in or live their version of your life, if you feel held back because of people judging you, it's because you don't know who you are and what you stand for. You got to figure out who you are and what you want and how you can serve other people.
Okay, so we're gonna go through 3 steps. Your who, your why, your how. This is the formula that I've used over and over and over and over again to help entrepreneurs find their purpose and turn it into a meaningful life, a meaningful business, and a successful financial enterprise as well. So your who. Who is number 1. That is your most important core value. What is your single most important core value? Think about the people who've made you come alive. Think about your greatest moments of all time, who your favorite teacher was and why. Like, what common elements do they have so you can figure out your most important core value? Mine is believe. That becomes the cornerstone of everything that I do. Why is it important? Look at me, for example. Believe. Everybody has some kind of agenda for my life, right? Everybody wants me to do something. Evan, you should do this. Evan, you should do that. Evan, you should do that. Evan, why don't you put out more content that slams negative people? Why don't you put out the top 10 reasons why Steve Jobs was a bad boss, or the top 10 stupidest things Kanye West has ever done? Why not do that? Because it's anti-belief. Like, everybody has an agenda for your time and what you should do, and when you don't know what you stand for, you're gonna get pulled in so many other different directions, because maybe that makes sense. Maybe I should go do that. No, I can't, because it's against my most important core value. You need to figure out what your most important core value is, what your who is, which gives you the clarity and direction for the rest of your life. Now, instead of randomly hoping good things happen to you, you can design it. You can architect it so that it's happening to you consistently every single day as you continue to build your life and your business for the rest of your life. It gives you the rock to stand on. And so it's the most important first step, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, just understand who you are so you have more clarity and purpose. So that's your who. Step number 2 is figuring out your why. Who, why, how. So your why is your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. So what kind of pain? Think about the most painful moment in your life. What was the most painful moment in your life? The thing that you never want to have to go through again, the thing you would never wish on your biggest enemy. What was that pain? Your purpose is to help other people who are currently going through that pain. So I love helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, because I quit on my business partner, a year in on my first business, because I felt so worthless as a human being. So my purpose for the rest of my life is to help out other entrepreneurs. How? By helping them believe in themselves, right? And giving them tactics to do it. And that will never get old. Your purpose will never get old. Because when you see somebody who's a younger version of you, not age-wise, but younger in terms of they haven't gone down the path that you've gone down. They want to. They see hope in what you've done. You've already lived the life that they're currently living right now. You can help them. You can give them hope. You can give them inspiration. You can give them motivation. You can give them the guidance to get out of the hole that they're in. That's joy. That's happiness on a whole other level. More than just opening the door for somebody. And that will never get old. That pain that you went through will be the greatest thing that ever happened to you because of all the people that you're going to go off and help and serve and bring tremendous joy and value to. So figuring out your who and your why, your most important core value and your purpose, those tools serve you forever, for life, give you clarity that 99% of the world doesn't have. Most people wake up and they drive to a job that they hate. They literally are waking up, driving to a job that they hate, working below their potential for somebody who doesn't recognize them for nowhere near enough money compared to what they should be earning, to work with people who don't appreciate them on projects that aren't actually making that big a contribution. And then let's wake up tomorrow and do it again. That's most people's lives right now. You know you're capable of more. You know you want to do more, and you know you want to serve, and you know you want to help. And there's nothing wrong with actually going off and doing it. In fact, it's what you should be doing and getting paid to do it. And turn into a business so you can employ people and go off and help even more. That's your who and your why. Set for life. You're done. It's amazing. That's amazing clarity that most people don't have. The last part is the how. The how, so who, why, how. How is how you got out of that hole is something you can teach other people. The recipe that you used is teachable. It wasn't just some random thing. You probably tried a million different things. In my first business, when I struggled, I was trying everything. Every new idea I came up with, I tried, and nothing seemed to be working. A new idea I tried, didn't work. New idea I tried, didn't work. New idea I tried, didn't work. Nothing was working. It's why I quit, because I felt like a worthless piece of garbage, because nothing I tried was working, and I was working all day long trying to make this happen with zero results. And then I finally found one thing that worked, which for me was modeling success. The day that I quit on my partner, I said, I can't quit. Like the next morning I woke up and said, I can't quit because I haven't given everything I've got. And I told myself, somebody's done this before. Like, why am I so stupid? Somebody must have done this before, right? Who's done this before? And I thought about Bill Gates and how he started Microsoft, and I applied those strategies, and that's when my company started to take off. I landed my first deal for $13,500 and kept building. And ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success, just like I did with Bill Gates in my first company. And so that was the one thing that worked. I tried all these different things. None of them worked. And finally, this one thing worked. This one thing, like, oh my God, something is working. Now what I do is teach people how to model success. I want to help shortcut the path. That's why I'm featuring people like Tony Robbins here. I want to shortcut your path. I want you to not suffer as much as I suffered. I want you to not have to go through all the pain that I went through. I want to try to make it easier. So that's the how. You have the same thing in your life, in your business. How you got out of the hole that you were in, you probably tried a million different things that most of them didn't work. This is why people quit. This is why people suffer. This is why people give up. But you didn't. You didn't give up. You tried one more day, and finally on that last day, something clicked and it worked. You could teach that to other people. That wasn't some random happenstance. That's a recipe that then you can teach other people for them to get out of the hole that they are in as well. The who, the why, the how. You can pick up this if you want to go even deeper, but that's a starting point to be able to figure out how to live a life of service instead of a life of surface. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, who have you helped recently? Give me a story. Put some emotion in the words today. Who have you helped that made you feel great? What happened? Put it down in the comments below. And if you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. We don't just watch videos here in Believe Nation. We do something about it. Give me a hashtag Believe down in the comments as well so we can celebrate you.
When you started trying to care towards me, as your career evolved over the last 9 years, the first 4 times that you cared, I thought this is the setup for the other thing.
The ask or something, right?
Because that's what we as humans think. That is the environment we live in. I'm sure that's what people feel about me. the fact that you look, I think here's the thing. Actually, let me say this about you as well. This is a good topic. I want to pay forward at all costs. I want to give, right? Jab, 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 right hook.
Right.
Like if I had it my way, that book would have been called Jab, 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 right hook. I think the thing that you have, that I have, and this is our kinship and no question speaks to our success, is we're very willing to give.
Yeah.
We're not scared to ask for something in return, but we are not crippled. We don't overreact to somebody coming through, and we're not crippled when they don't.
Right.
I'll give you a great example for everybody listening. When School of Greatness came out, you emailed, you reached out, I was able to buy a bunch of books, we did all the right things. When Mask came out, this feels like what, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
I remember this clearly because I kept like getting scared that I was up because you reached out, you're like, this is coming. But I had some going on, just like business stuff.
You were really
like,
busy too
I was
and
just,
everything,
no, but I was just really like between
Yeah.
personal life and business. And I just remember like, because I remember this because I was like, oh, I gotta, like, it wasn't like notes. I'm like, oh, I gotta reach out to him. And then I like hit you up and I was like, dude, where are you? Like, you're like, dude, I was in New York 4 days ago. Like, but you know what's interesting to me? Because that's how I play. Like sometimes people will come through, sometimes they don't.
Right.
Giving with expectation is a devastatingly bad idea that 99% of people do.
If you want to know how Tony Robbins feeds his mind, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.